Making them dirt road dollars, way out yonder, having them howlers, doing it like our fathers. Up on them tractors, out in them pastures, making it rain like water. Farm boy goes, 24 karat gold corn grows. Lunch break by a couple sweet tea swallowers, right back to making them dirt road dollars.
Hey guys, it's Justin. Welcome back to CJ Farms, and today I'm gonna do the little bit of a farm tour like I promised. Let's get started. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna start up here in the driveway yard area, which I need to mow the lawn really bad. So don't pay attention to that. I'm waiting until it gets a little bit cooler. It's like 90 degrees right now. So anyways, yeah, so here's the yard. We got 2 points of entry into the driveway, one over there and then this one right here. So when I was coming in with the stock trailer to unload the cows in the last video, we came in up here, looped down here, and then we pulled up this way, went up onto the concrete pad, and then backed up here to the corral system. And so we were kind of going back and forth on the driveway specifics and stuff, but I think we're going to keep it the way it is, but remove this tree here because I think we're going to put the Powder River steel loading ramp here so that the semi trucks can just back up and then they can load out that way instead of having to fiddle around in here and mess with that concrete pad there. So yeah, that's the story on that. We're going to keep this here. That is for sure staying, which within the first like week, I think Dad and I went ahead and raised up this little loading area, and it's just high enough with the trailers that the cows barely even have to step down, so it works really smooth. But anyways, I'm gonna get to the whole corral system here in a few minutes, but first things first, we're gonna talk about this stuff here. So first thing you see when you come in the driveway, you've got this carport area here and you've got the shop. So in this carport, this side here, this is my sister's car, and then that's my mom's. But anyways, they've been parking under the covering and all that good stuff, but also back here we have the lawnmower and the bikes and some other just miscellaneous stuff. This stuff isn't going to stay the way it is right now. We're working on moving this stuff out and cleaning it all up as we go along, and so I'll be keeping up on that stuff. Over here along the shop wall here, you see just a bunch of steel and a bunch of junk here. This was left here by the previous owners, and so what I'm going to do is I got to modify some racks on our flatbed trailer, and then I'm going to be taking some loads down to the steel scrap yard and just get rid of most of the stuff. We're going to go through it obviously and take out some stuff that we want, but for the most part, I mean, like this old wheel here is just cracked, so most of it's just junk. But then over here inside the shop, so as you can see here, this is only the single bay for right now. Over here it's kind of cluttered. We're also working on getting rid of all this stuff here. This is all stuff, like I said previously, just left here. So we're getting rid of that old fridge. That fridge actually had a bunch of spray chemical in it, so yeah, there's that. And then we got a big work table that we don't need, and then the John Deere bagger, which we don't need. But over here on the shop wall, if you can see here, the concrete foundation here is kind of falling away, and we were kind of nervous we weren't going to be able to save this shop. It's pretty old, but we were concerned that we weren't going to be able to save it, but it's looking like we're going to be able to save it, definitely. So yeah, we're pretty excited about that. And then I don't know what the plans are, if we're going to make there's talk of putting a lean-to out to the side and putting a shop door over there so where we can pull in this way and pull in that way. I'm not sure yet. We're going to be going through all that with you guys. I'll be documenting all that stuff, obviously all along the way, like I've said previously. But over here on the other side of these carports, this is pretty cool. So what we got here is old grain cribs. So this is pretty sweet. like I said before, just a bunch of stuff that the previous owners had left behind. There's wasps all over the place. I don't know if I want to go in. Anyways, it's pretty dark in here. I don't know if you guys will be even able to see that well. But just a bunch of stuff in here. And in these grain cribs, we're not going to be using them for grain cribs. We're actually going to be using these as our meat depot, I guess you could say. Because with our minis, since there's not a market for them, like you can't take them to the sale barn and sell them like the Angus cows. What we've been doing is just taking the steers in so often, and then getting the steers butchered, and then obviously keeping some for ourselves, and then mom goes down to the farmers markets and she sells stuff. She's got meat sticks, hamburger steaks, roasts, almost everything you could think of, and she'll sell that down there at the farmers markets. So that's what we're gonna be using that for. We're gonna turn that into a little bit of a meat depot and have freezers in there and all that good stuff. So that's what that grain crib I think is gonna be turned into. So yeah, we're gonna be going through that just like I said with the shop and everything else. And then over here we have this barn. It's a pretty old school barn. We're gonna work on, I don't know if we're gonna work on expanding this barn or just straightening up this wall and, you know, putting on siding and stuff to where you don't have holes in it. But so inside the barn here, this is where Megan and Maddie have had their show calves leading up to fair. This is kind of a mess. I have some mineral stuff going on right now. We just picked up this little grain hopper. It's just a little plastic one. I don't know what size, but I think I'm gonna put mineral inside that or something, you know. But anyways, yeah, their show stuff is in here. They got both the fitting chutes. Yeah, the show calves don't stay in here, and actually Megan and Maddie just brought in their new heifers, so that's pretty cool. The new heifers for 2021. Anyways, so we're gonna take out here into the corral area. If you look, that's the same green gate that we were just looking at, and then there's two smaller like walk-through gates. You got this wood one here, and then you got this little plywood hooked up on a spring. So basically through that one, when we were heading out to the fairs and the shows and stuff, Megan just took her cows straight through there. But for the most part, when we walked down here, we walked through that little man gate, and then right here there was a big brown pen, but thankfully they took that with them, because we're not a horse ranch, as you guys all should know. And then we have the corral system. Now this stuff is pretty beat and worn down, just like the rest of the place, but we're working on rebuilding everything. So all throughout here, this was all just a giant weed patch, but on the first night here, me and Megan took up a load of her show animals and just let them eat it all down and get all the weeds knocked out here. And yeah, that's where we're at now. Now you can see here on some of these corrals that there are some updated features to them, such as like the 2x8 boards. Anyways, so we just put this up a week ago and totally rebuilt this little area, except for that little section and that little section. We're just doing it as we can. So it's not going to be all done at once, but I'm going to document the rest of this for you guys. I didn't video this because I still hadn't made the video announcing that we had actually moved, so I didn't bother doing that. I just decided I'd do it on the rest of the stuff, and plus Dad had the week off, so while I was at work he was doing this, so that's another reason why. But this place has I think 2 of these concrete automatic waters, and these were put in the year that the house was moved on. So I think in 2000 was when these were all put on, because then they did the plumbing for the house and everything like that. So this is a 3-way water. So you got this little pen, or I shouldn't say little pen, it's a larger pen down here. It's like a gathering pen, and over there you can see the feeding panels right there. which I'll get there. But it's got 3 different ways to get to the water trough. And yeah, so we'll come down off of here. So I think what this pen's gonna be used for is for like when we get ready to take animals to the sale or take them to the butcher shop or anything like that. We're just gonna throw them in here since there's water, and we're gonna feed them in here, and then it'll be easier to get them to the loading dock and everything like that. So this gate here, this gate is a pain in the butt. I'm not gonna open it. I'll just crawl over the fence or something. But yeah, they did this wrong. We have the hinges pointing up and down. Usually how the gate should be put up is this top hinge should be facing down to where it kind of pinches it, and then you don't have to worry about the gate coming off, but we're working on it. So right here in this little pen, this is going to be the secondary gathering pen. Down here, this is gonna be the first one since it's right there off that big field there. And so we're gonna, like I said, we got to totally rebuild all these corrals, and we're gonna be making that panel fence deal there. We're gonna make that a little bit more permanent. I don't know if we're gonna actually build it out of rails or what the story is, but we'll get to that. So anyways, this will be like a gathering pen, and then this will be probably the weaning pen since there's the feeding panels there. So yeah, there's that. And then over here, we're gonna be doing all this, I think, in the 2x8s is what we're gonna be doing all the way through here. So that's the plan. So anyways, you got this gathering pen, this secondary gathering pen, I guess you could call it. And then you have these pens up here. So this pen, you know, you obviously got the gate right here, but I don't know. I mean, I think that gate will just be able to be accessed from the road. I don't think we're ever gonna unload there. I could be wrong, but I think for the most part we're just gonna unload there and be done with it. Anyways, run them all in here, and this will be kind of a holding pen. All these gates need to be WD-40'd again. I've done WD-40 on them countless times. So anyways, this up here, or this down here, I guess, this is gonna be another small sorting pen. And this gate will be shut, obviously, when we're working the cows. Anyway, we're gonna throw them in here. And then in here, it's kind of like a tub setup, but not really, because this doesn't squeeze down on them all the way. It kind of just goes here and holds. So we won't be able to really squeeze down on them that hard or that much. But anyways, the whole run here is made out of wood, which is pretty cool. A lot of guys actually have this way. And so this whole shoot run area is going to be wood, and then you obviously got a platform here. My grandpa is actually making new boards for this platform, which is going to be pretty cool. So anyways, here's the chute and everything. Well, that board is really weak. About fell down on camera. Anyways, so this chute, it's a little bit sketchy, to put it best. But I think our local co-op is doing, or local Cenex co-op deal. Anyways, they're doing kind of a big liquidation sale. That's where I actually got that grain hopper bin. And anyways, they have a head catch there, and Dad's kind of waiting for it to come up for sale, and then I think we're going to try and get that and put it on here. And then we have our Powder River stuff that we took out of the lean-to at the old house next to the barn where I had a lot of my cattle working videos, and it's actually sitting on the 80 from when I was calving over there, so that I could have the chutes there in case I needed to pull any calves or anything like that. So yeah, that's the story on that. For once, I will probably be covered while I'm pushing cows through, so I'm pretty excited about that. Anyways, so loading the cows out and everything like that. What we have here is you can run them down, and then if you're loading it onto the semi, they have it to where you can go right here and just open this little tin gate and match it up with this side, and then they'll go right up on the loading ramp. But you guys have seen this in the video of bringing the mini Herefords up here. This gate swings over obviously, but then right here is the pickup loading area, and it works really well. I've had a few steers that are a little bit hot and a little bit testy. I've been able to load them right out of there and have had no problems. It flows really well loading out of this side. Anyway, you got another big gate here, access from the road. I don't know if we're gonna be doing anything with it as far as like trailers or anything like that, but I think the plan is we're gonna come off the corner of these panels with fence and go right up here to this post here, and then it'll all be solid and I don't have to worry about the cows getting out. So I could enter through with the tractor from here, and we need to get a bale processor. We don't have one yet, but we want to get one. And so basically I can just run down the side here and grind up the hay and the grain and everything else and just dump it straight here into these concrete bunks. And I need to rebuild some of these bunks. I'll show you here. So it's on a concrete pad, which is gonna be super awesome for cleaning off. You just run the tractor bucket along it a couple times and you're done. Anyways, so this panel looks like it's okay, but with our minis having their smaller heads, or smaller bodies at weaning, they'll probably slip right through there. So I need to take and weld little tabs on and then string a chain across. Or what I could do is just put a bar across, but I'd rather do the chain since it's able to move a little bit more and flex, but I'd have to keep the chain fairly tight in order to keep them all in and out of the road. So right here, this is a panel that needs fixing. As you can see, it's kind of ripped out and the wasps have made a giant nest there. Holy cow. Anyways, and so I need to rebuild this one. It's kind of rotted out a little bit and pieces have been falling off and it's been through a little bit, it looks like. So I'm going to rebuild this one either with the one that's behind it, or at the old house I still have our feeding panel, or our feeder panel, if you can remember from our calf weaning and everything like that. I've had it done there a couple times, but I might use pieces of that one and finish off this panel. This one is just missing a bottom piece here, so I'll have to find like a piece of sheet metal or plywood or something to put over top of that. I'll probably end up taking the whole thing off because that one looks like it's busted and kind of rotting a little bit. This one here is kind of a little bit more of a worry. As you can see here, you know, the steel's rusted away, as you would expect. This was being used in the sloppy wet kind of environment that these feeding pens are usually in. But it's all totally fixable, and as long as I got a welder and, you know, some sort of cutting device, it'll be no problem. So yeah, there's the feeding bunks, which I am super excited about. I've been wanting feeding bunks for a long time. So then we'll come over here, or back. I'm gonna go back up there. Actually, heck, no, I'm gonna jump through here. So anyways, like I said in the video where I announced that we had moved, this is on 120 acres. And so we have quite a bit of room now compared to what we had. We had the 30 and the 80. That was our total owned acres, and we leased a lot. Anyways, so in here, if I can get my leg over. So anyways, in here, this is where Megan's show cows and stuff have been hanging out. And here are the new show heifers for the year. It looks like each of them have their own stall. And this is just a little lean-to barn, which we are actually planning on building into an actual barn, and this will be the peak up here at the lean-to. So yeah, it's gonna be a full-on barn down here. Anyway, so if you look up there, this is where the chute and everything are. Chute in the other barn, and then this gate goes up there to that post there, and in there, and amongst all the show stuff, you can see we got a head catch, and that is for pulling calves. It's not a full-on chute, it's just the head catch itself, and we use it. What you would use that for is pulling calves or nursing calves or something like that. anything in that case to where you don't have to battle the chute. It's just a quick little head catch system, and it works pretty smooth. But yeah, so here's the other concrete water I was talking about. And this pen and that pen over there were the exact same as up here, just full of weeds. Yeah, it was a mess. Even this one, all through here is just tons of weeds, but we're getting it all figured out. And in here, it looks like they're almost ready for a bale. I can see a little bit down there in the bottom. This is where we have the steers going out right now. We got steers and a couple cull cows. We have, if you see these black culverts here that are cut in half, we're actually using those as grain feeding bunks, and it works out pretty well. And then this little tire thing here, we discovered this under a bunch of weeds in this pen, and we're using that to put the mineral in, and it works pretty well. And so over here, this is all more stuff that we have to rebuild, and looks like Gloria's eating the algae out of the water tank. Doesn't look too healthy there, kid. Anyway, what we're gonna do here is we got to drain it, and then we got to clean it all out. As you can see, it's just nasty. It doesn't look too enticing. So we're gonna get on top of all that. We still have to figure out how to drain it is the problem. And once we figure out how to drain it, it'll come clean, no problem. I'll probably just get in there with a pressure washer after we get it drained and get everything out of there, and then pick it all out with like pitchforks or something. Anyways, so this is another little pen, another little holding pen. For right now, we're using it for the coal pen, like I was saying, and for the steers that are finishing out. I don't know if the purpose later on is going to change or anything like that. And this little pen in here, this is where we were housing some bulls for a short little time to get all the weeds picked out of here, but now we have the horses in here, and they're doing pretty good. We got the couple of mini horses here. And then here's the rest of the show animals and some other animals that we have up here for breeding reasons and stuff for AI. So we'll go over there next. All right, so in here you see this giant pile of wood. We're gonna burn this giant pile of wood, and same with that pile of tires there. Well, I don't know if we're gonna burn it or what the story is, but we're gonna do something with it. Anyways, this pen was just the same as the other ones, just full of weeds. We turned the cows in here and they ate it down in a hurry. Anyways, we got a couple of buildings up here, which I don't know what exactly the plan is yet on those, whether we're gonna restore them or not, or turn them into something else. I think this little one here, that's got the metal roof on it, I think that one's gonna be turned into the little barn that has my weed eater and mower and everything else in it, for like the lawn and everything. Down here where the cows are all gathered at, which is probably not a good idea, but this is where we've been putting the trailers at for the time being, and I think this is where they're gonna stay. We got to take a bunch of gravel in here because this soil, it's pretty sandy on the top, and when it gets wet, it is super slick. So yeah, down here, this is where the trailer parking is for right now. And then if you look up there by the trees, we have our hay equipment and the tractor sitting up there. And then from here, you can tell that the house is over here. My little bunkhouse is right. See if I can get it. I can't really tell. It's right there. Anyways, so right now I'm facing east. So west is this way, and you got north, and then you got south that way. It looks pretty smoky right now. The last couple days it's been really clear, but there must be a new fire started up or something. So over here, these are the first couple fields. These are both flood irrigated fields, and we had the cows, the mini Herefords, the first group of mini Herefords in here first. I think is how we did that. And then, yeah, I think we had the first group of minis in this one first. And on the other side of this fence, this is where we brought the second group. And they're staying separate for a little bit, just for the time being. But with bulls being serviced out now and stuff, we combined the herd and just put a single bowl in. Made it easy. I've been going through and tightening this fence for the last few weeks, just going around making sure everything's tightened up, straightened up, and everything like that. Yeah, so you can tell up here where the green comes down, you know, that's where the water flows, and that's how the flood is. You got ditches up there and then ditches through here. And yeah, so if you see this poly pipe here, or poly hose, it goes all the way down there. If you can see the bulls, they got an automatic water system set up on there, and I'll go show you guys that here in a few. But that's where the bulls have been hanging out, and these are just the first two fields that you really see when you come up to the place. So now I'm gonna jump on the four-wheeler and I'm gonna show you guys the rest of these fields, which, judging by the length of these videos, it may be a second video. So if I need to put out a second video, then thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching the part 1 of the farm tour. If you liked it, please like this video, please subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in part 2, which will be coming out very shortly after part 1.